What's going on? Welcome to the Riftslop podcast. I'm your host, also known as David. This is episode 5, where today we'll be going over a boatload of top eights from the Ottawa tournament and one from a nice little list from the one of the Chinese tournaments. I'm joined here by our wonderful co-host Sam. Sam, how you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Super excited about this Gnosis list. Can't wait to dive into it.
Perfect. And getting into that analysis list, let's get right into it. That's our first one.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, this Gnosis is sick. My our boy Mikey was cooking up a Gnosis list in our group, and I was testing it out. And like, so some of these cards really stand out to me as stuff we were playing. And then like some of these other choices just seem really cool. Like we weren't thinking about that. So like, I love the retreats here. I think the retreat is really good for ramp. It kind of goes with the find your center. But this Gnosis deck just looks so cool, man. Um, we weren't playing the time warp, but that makes sense to me. It's like a free win basically, especially if you have green Gnosis on a battlefield already. It's basically free, and you have Astral Heron and the Gnosis Legend to discount it, which is amazing. So yeah, overall, super excited about this list. I know I'm going to be testing it as soon as I get my hands on some time warps, but they're a little expensive at the moment.
It's what we got Rift Atlas for.
It's what we got Rift Atlas for. Yeah, this
Shouts out
list
to
is
Rift
super
Atlas.
cool. Shout out to Rift Atlas, dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
this
the
list is super cool.
one of the things I really like about this list is I like that NASA's lists are running the Ravenbloom student.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm surprised they're not running as much of the siphoning strikes. I thought you'd see
Yeah.
more than just one. But
Mikey and I were testing 3.
I think it makes sense at more than like at just one though, because I think by the time I don't know how much you want to be playing it at a 4,
Yeah.
right? Like
That's
by the
fair.
time you're the earliest you're able to play it, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to. And I think with some of the rest of the stuff, you can kind of cheese early kills in different ways as well. So through like charm stupefies and like charm like disciplines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like on a turn where you're paying for 4 energy, I almost feel like going into like with 4 energy up, I feel like going into a battlefield with Ravenbloom student and like charming a guy and like disciplining for like 3 energy instead is a lot better than going for like a potential kill on a battlefield that is very easily played around, especially with the meta being so movement heavy. With like if these Kennen decks are as popular, like all these purple decks are running like some variation of movement spell where it's like flash, ride the wind, ride the wind, you know.
Yeah.
So like being so it's kind of why, which we'll touch on later with like one of the Ezreal lists, is I feel
Yeah.
like it's why like Wages of Pain isn't as great anymore.
Yeah.
And I know some Nasus lists were trying Wages of Pain. I think Wages of Pain is always something that's like thrown around as like a potential like clearing option, especially you know when if you have a lot of like energy or sorry power to pay for. Which
Yeah.
that is something I notice about this deck too, is that this is a very
Non-power.
like
Yeah.
non-power hungry deck. Like
Yeah.
the most power hungry cards are like the Time Warp and I
The
guess
one
Thousand,
singularity.
yeah, like Thousand Tailed Watcher and the Singularity, which
Yeah.
the Astro Heron kind of takes care of that,
Yeah.
right? So like I think the
Playing
Astro
some
Heron is cool,
retrieval Gnosis helps you. Yeah.
right? And then Asses also helps you there too. So it's like it's definitely it's very interesting. I wonder. I think what I want to see is how Steel Pulse, and maybe you can answer this question for me, is how
Yeah.
Steel Pulse really comes into the equation. Like, I feel like how often are you getting that +7? Or are you just
Yes.
doing it as like a free early like point take? And
Yes.
it
So
doesn't matter.
Mikey and I were not testing Steel Paw, because who's gonna empower it for 7? But looking at it, it's an early unit that has deflect, so like they can't just willy nilly ping it, unless they're gonna pay the taxes. Um, and I guess if you can keep it around for the Empower 7 is discounted by Nasus, so it's really an Empower 5. And then if Astral Heron's on the board, all of a sudden it's an Empower 4 or 3. So like, I see it.
No, Astral Heron wouldn't pay for the Empower though, does it?
When you play your first card each turn, if I'm at a battlefield, your next card costs 2
Yeah, I don't think you can pay
Empower.
for the ability, but that is an
Oh,
interesting
okay.
point to look into.
Your
But
next card.
otherwise, I think you. But yeah, otherwise, I think you're on the right track for sure. I also think with like combat tricks like discipline and stuff, I think that also makes, I guess the steel paws a little better.
Yeah.
So like steel paws with or like back off, and then and just kind of going quick. It's also kind of why I like the frost coat mother too. The empower costing less for how much runes you have is also really cool. I actually played in the one of the pre-rifts we played at. um I was stuck with the Nasus deck for the pre-rifts, and I ended up running like the Frostcoat Mothers. And originally I was like, this card feels a little bad, but I think it's pretty decent.
I think it's a good tempo
Like
play.
it's pretty decent tempo when you're playing a 3 might unit for 3, and then it becomes a 6 might unit essentially whenever you
Yeah.
want it to,
Yeah.
later down the game, especially if you're running like find your centers and just more draw power and stuff to get you to those. Like you're able to get like I'd imagine you get to 7 pretty fast, right? So like
Yeah.
you're able to start getting like pretty quickly up there. And then I think the because Nasus also does not care about how much you actually spent on the ability or
Yeah.
the card. It only matters if it costs that much in general, like the printed costs.
Yeah.
You still get you still get to activate Nasus for a
Yeah.
discounted Frostcoat Mother empowerment, which I think is cool. But one of the things I wanted to point out in the sideboard specifically for this deck, Helm of Suppression. I
Dude,
love that card, dude.
Yeah.
I
That
love
card is
Helm of
sick. I love the
Suppression.
taxes. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And me and Brian were talking about like running that specifically in like 2v2s, or
Hmm.
like because like it applies to all enemies, all opponents.
Yes, there was a Turnham Sideways tournament that was happening not too long ago. It was a 2v2. It was a 2v2 tournament. There was a they had some pretty interesting rules, which was really cool. You couldn't overlap domains.
Oh,
It had to
interesting.
be
Okay.
completely like you and your teammate could not share any color,
Okay.
which was really cool. And
Yeah.
there was a Leona Draven combo, and the Leona had like a double Helm of Suppression on board, and they were
Oh
playing
wow.
against like Aurelia Rengar, and the Aurelia
Yeah.
was effectively turned off by Helm of
That's
Suppressions.
crazy.
Like she could not play. She could not play the game. It was crazy.
That is amazing.
Like yeah, I think Helm of Suppression is such a cool card. Also, the Tomb Raider Barbara
Yeah.
as the gear hate of choice, I think is really cool because even if you don't use it as a gear hate, it's still a solid 4 energy creature for 4 might. Like you just get a decent body for it.
Yeah, and I just love the art. He's a little cobalt stealing some
Yeah,
loot.
yeah,
I fucking
he's
love
really
it,
cool.
dude. Yeah.
But yeah, this list is really sick. I'm hoping Nasus play like I Nasus things like Nasus and Mel. I looked at them and I'm like, these legends to me kind of suck, but it would be really cool if these were really good because I think both of them are really cool. Mel is in the colors I want to play, and Nasus is he's Nasus.
Yeah.
Like I think green blue is such a cool combination, and like
Yeah.
I would like to see him do stuff, right? So like it's cool to see that this got a really good placing, and I'm excited to see more Nasus plays. I think Ali Eldrazi was like looking into Nasus as well, so
Oh, cool.
if he plays Nasus at a RQ or something, that'd be cool to see. I wonder what he's cooking up, because it doesn't seem like, from what I've seen, and I haven't kept up too much, but it doesn't seem like he's playing a like a Aurora build this time around. I
Okay.
know Tron is bad is playing Jace. He's been like the Jace guy, and I've been following him for that.
Okay.
But I think we've been talking kind of reoccurring. We've been talking about Froden's videos with like some of
Yeah.
the other pros, and I think he released one today that I did not get to see with Ali Eldrazi on Nasus.
Oh, sick.
So it'd be
Yeah, I
cool to
think I
see.
saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that too.
it'd
Yeah.
be cool to see how that ends up. But any other
Well,
thoughts on the Nasus list?
so circling back to the Heron, I did
Mm-hmm.
some Googling. At least Google AI thinks Heron does apply to Empower because you're activating an ability as long as it's the first ability. And it's like citing
Mm.
Reddit stuff, but like, that's not reliable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, look for the short.
Hey yo,
If
guys, I set it up.
I'll do some digging. I'll do some digging,
Yeah.
and we'll see if Google AI is right on this one, because Google AI has some weird questions.
Yeah.
I never trust Google AI.
No, yeah, totally. Check your, fact check. Fact check,
Definitely double check, because I think off reading it alone, I think because it says card, it's
Yeah.
specifically talking about like playing the card, like
Yeah.
just like
I was
not activating
I was gonna
abilities.
say it specifically doesn't mention the word play, which is interesting.
Your next card oh, I guess so.
Yeah, it doesn't say play, which is very interesting. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it's because it technically, so like technically the cost doesn't
Yeah.
happen when you play the card. You pay the cost before you technically play the card. Because it's like, because if you watched one of our other shorts where we talk about the play, the interaction of like when you play stuff, you go like finalizing and all that stuff. Like you like determine, there's a point where you determine the costs. So
Yeah.
that would include any increases or discounts. And then after that, you would pay the costs. And I think that's
Yeah.
why this is applying to like your next card costs less,
Yeah.
as opposed to like when you play your next card, it costs less, because
Yeah.
that would, I guess the wording changes. If it said play, it would technically change when you pay for the cost, which
Yeah.
would make no sense. But I guess some weird templating thing. I don't think I'm going on
I'm
a tangent.
excited for you to do some digging.
I'll do some digging to double check
Yeah.
on the abilities thing. I think off just reading it alone though, I think it just strictly works on the cost.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm cool to move on. Rengo.
Mhm. Yeah, so next we have the so we wanted to talk about the Gnosis list because we just thought it was really cool. It's going to be our honorable mention for the day, basically, because we're going to go straight into the Ottowa Showdown, which was like almost like a 600 player tournament or something, happened in Canada over the weekend, and our first place was the GOAT Prismaticism, not on Annie, but on Rengar. I think Rengar is a really cool legend. I've been playing some Rengar. Granted, I've been playing Rengar Dragons because I have to always have a dragon deck per set. But I was thinking about maybe playing some mid-range a little while ago. I know one of our boys has a mid-range list that I was working with him on as well, and I think there's some pretty standard stuff to this, like the Nidalees, Fey Folk, Inferna, like all the like First Mates and Grim Apothecary. I think what this list does really well is that it plays into like spot removal insanely well, and I think that's why this list is like particularly really really sick, because there are some really cool play lines with like Thrill of the Hunt, Grim Apothecary, where you could effectively say no to somebody's removal and still maintain a creature or move your creature to an advantageous position, right? So with Grim Apothecary, you can, if you have a creature on board on like a battlefield and somebody says, I'm going to double star-cross your Kaisa, or double star-cross whoever, you know, like literally any of your creatures, probably Kaisa, probably your Darius, probably your Forerunner, right? And if you don't want, if you want to save them, you can very easily go in response, Grim Apothecary into the battlefield that this unit is at, bring the unit back to my hand. Your Star-Cross now essentially fizzles, it's mistargeting, there's no creature there. You've just wasted 2 energy and 2 power. GG's, shake my hand. And then there's also a really cool playline, which I believe Prismaticism did, where you can effectively turn off assault plays. Thrill of the Hunt in response to Ride the Wind, so that he'll get the attacking designation and Kennen will lose the assault. So yes, it was essentially, I was thinking about it the right way, which basically allows him to win the combat. So because essentially, I believe what will happen is that Thrill the Hunt will resolve first. The unit will hit the battlefield first, meaning that it is contesting. It is the one that applied the contested status, and because you don't go into the showdown just yet because you have to resolve everything, right? So because he's there first, he applied the contested status. He is now the attacker. By the time that the Ride the Wind resolves and Kennen gets there, Kennen would be considered the defender because the contested status is applied by Rengar. The attacker is always the unit that applies the contested status in this case. So because you do that, you essentially beat Kennen to the punch and remove the assault play.
Oh wow! So Prismaticism built this with the intention of playing against Kennen.
I don't know if he built it with the intention to play Kennen, but I think that was one of the really good play lines against Kennen, specifically.
I love the P.A.K.A. cub. I love the little cub.
Yes, the cub is cool, and yeah, all the hidden stuff is really sick. Because anything that's played out of hidden, you can picture it playing as a one more might.
Yeah.
Right. Is there anything else that stands out? I know you mentioned the Pike. When we first looked at his list.
I love the Nidalees. And Rampage was such a good card in pre-Rift. It totally makes sense to me that it's being played.
Yeah, I think Rampage is sick because it's challenge without a power.
Yeah.
And you can choose to pay if you don't want to, but because you're a mid-range list, right? You could very oftentimes just because you're a mid-range list that gets a +1 when you enter on board, basically. You can almost always do this without spending the power and still be on top of something.
Yeah, especially if you entered it on the board, killed something, and then you want to follow it up with a Rampage, and because you still have that +1 buff, totally.
Yeah, I think,
and I love the. Go ahead.
Like Darius going into Rampage.
Oh yeah.
Is sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I love the Darius and Forerunner. I'm playing them in Akali now, thanks to Colin. And yeah, this list looks so cool.
Yeah, this list looks, I love this list. I might play this list if I decide to take apart the dragon list, but I like keeping the dragons just because it's my pet list. But I think going back to the Pike, what I really like about the Pike too is that with this deck, if you bring him out of hiding, he can gain 3 might in the turn. He can go straight to 5. Because you take him out of hiding, you pay the red, so he gets the +2 and is readied, and then because of the Rengar ability, you can give himself the 1, right? So he'll go straight to 5. You have a hidden blocker for 5. It's kind of nuts.
It is not. It goes hard. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. This list is so sick. I love seeing these kind of lists especially succeed. So, and then Prismaticism is kind of the goat, so I'm not surprised he did well in whatever list he runs.
I am a little surprised he's not running more Orange Rengar or any Gangplank, but I mean, it looks like an awesome
I
list.
think the thing about Gangplank is that Gangplank in this deck doesn't really do much of anything.
Okay.
Because I think Gangplank in this deck would be a please don't bounce him, but otherwise he's just kind of like a what is he a 6-drop for 5 might or 6 might.
Let's see.
So like I think the inclusion of like the Gangplank is a pretty like in this kind of situation where you yourself can't buff him. Is kind of he's just a vanilla creature almost.
That makes sense.
And then the Rengar, the extra Rengars, I think, is a good point. But I wonder if he just
Like he opted for that. Basically, in that 5 slot, he opted for that Darius and that Forerunner.
Yeah.
Which I guess, like again, playing them in Akali, I love them, so I get it. These are very powerful red units. Maybe he just thought he only needed the one Rengar.
Yeah, I mean,
because he has other ambush things that are cheaper, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree. I think especially because he's running like the Grimo. I think having like in a situation where you have to decide between holding up energy for like Rengar, Grim Apothecary, Nidalee, Throw the Hunt, Inferna, all in your hand. Like if obviously like if all of them are in your hand, like the Rengar can probably just feel like a clutter almost.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess he's just very precise with his chosen champion.
Yeah.
Like when it's time to deploy it. I get, you know what?
Because if you think about it, the Rengar from Chosen can be recycled so many times. Because you go ambush Rengar from the Chosen, Grim Apothecary back to hand.
Yeah.
Rengar again. Or like Thrill of the Hunt him to another board. Like you can, yeah, I think like
yeah,
you can reuse that one Rengar so many times, which I think is sick.
Yeah, I like that. All right, I like that.
But yeah,
I like the decrees in the sideboard.
The decrees, yeah, I think we're gonna see that in a lot of the sideboards. The decrees as well. I think for something I want to know, I like the battlefields like the Emperor's Dais and the Star Spring. I love the amount of just like movement options he has, especially with Emperor's Dais. That's another thing to recycle the Rengar with back to hand and continue using ambush off just one, like Rengar off just one card basically.
Yeah, I was thinking about using Emperor's Dais in Akali, but there's only certain things I'd really want to bounce.
Yeah.
Like that's why I haven't been playing it, but
that's fair.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
But yeah, you want to go to the next one? Do you want me to keep going with the canon lists we have next?
Yeah, just we'll stay in order, right? So yeah,
sure. All right, so we got 3 different canon lists for this tournament. We have a 2nd place, a 4th place, and a 6th place. They're all pretty much the same. The only big difference was the amount of tide turners. Well, not big difference, but there was some tide turner differences. One of the lists runs 1 less. One of the lists doesn't run it at all.
One of the lists plays a Hidden Blade.
One of the lists plays a Hidden Blade. The other list plays Death Grip. And then there's like some inverted timelines and Wind and Ghosts. Like there's very similar. There's very like slight differences in terms of like some of the tech that they're playing, but they all seem to revolve around the like the kind of Rush Baron almost kind of deal, which I've been hearing that this list is kind of fraudulent, despite placing well at this tournament. People, I've been looking around, eternally online, but like there's been a lot of people saying like this list is low key a bait because kind of getting Baron out is pretty cool, but like, but it's not going to be the end. Like, this isn't peak canon apparently. But I think this list, even if it's not peak canon, I think it's really cool. Like, I think the harrowing is really sick. I think being able to cheat out Rasa, like, just all the miracle stuff is sick. I think miracle is a really cool concept. But being able to just go through your deck really quickly, obviously with the lightning rushes into stack decks, and then just the last rites being able to play stuff from grave, last rites being able to play Rasa for like 1 power from the grave is also like just insane. Just you get a lot of like just constant creatures on board. I think the biggest struggle is like, and I think this is why this deck can be a little fraudulent, is how crazy you want to go in the early game. Some people, like, it's kind of bait if you go straight into Nocturnes very early, because you kind of get rid of resources really fast unless you have like an insane like seal start. But I think with like Nocturnes and the Rasas, I think the how your early game goes is very important with these decks, because you don't want to overdo your board, because then if it gets cleared, it kind of gets stomped out, right? And then it's like the kind of like the just the overall tempo you need to take with the deck is very interesting, which I really like. But overall, I think the Baron Asher stuff, I want to see how long. I've seen some lists that just don't run any of the Baron Asher stuff, and it's just a lot of like value creatures like kind of going fast, and like a very like they're trying to go like a faster play style, and not play for like late game, or just not play for Rosses. Some lists don't even run Nocturne. So it's like, I think I'm wondering where this will lead to. But I think this is by far the most popular setup at the moment, I would say. I know people were messing with like Control Cannon, but I think fundamentally that list does not. I think that list will ultimately lose to something that we're going to go over to next, and like some of the overall more like just aggressive decks in general. I think this list generally has like better matchup spreads, but yeah, I think
like that. I like this list over the baited hook list because
me too.
This list is more affordable.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I'd rather buy last rights than 3 baited hooks.
Right.
But
totally.
but yeah, I think this stuff is really cool. Being able to like cheat out Baron and get like early point, and then have a Baron with a bunch of little guys that like are now buffed up extra is really sick. Being able to move Baron around with like Ride of the Winds, getting going Baron and then like replaying your Rasas. Rasas are now like a 1 power 8 might unit. Nocturne is now a 6 might unit. Your board gets crazy really fast. I am just wondering the longevity of this kind of list, and I wonder if because we saw this previously with the last set, where there were a fair bit of decks that were trying to rush Baron, and then halfway through the set, everybody ditched the Baron. Like everybody just said, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah.
The Baron strat is cool, but it ultimately loses pretty fast. But any other thoughts?
I think I don't know. I really like this Miracle list. I in Vanguard, like one of the lists I played 90% of Vanguard, except for major tournaments, was like Gold Paladins, and they were basically a Miracle deck. They revolved around checking the top X amount of cards and playing something from it. Like, it was literally just a Miracle deck. I really like this list. It's making me want to build it.
I have it built, so we'll see it on the channel.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll see it on we'll see it on the channel. Either you can play it, or wherever we go, however we end up. But yeah, I have a version of this list. currently with the Baron stuff set up.
Okay.
I'm trying the Baron stuff at first, seeing if I like it, and then I'm probably gonna cut down to a list without Baron to see how that works and see which one I like a little better. Overall, though, I think second isn't too bad for Kennen.
Yeah.
I
I
think
might even
the
swap the Baron for like Alawi, like purple Alawi.
purple Alawi,
I kind
interesting.
of like because
Like
like
the
I
tentacle
see
idea.
I see the two up from the deeps, and I'm like up that to 3, play 1 or 2 purple Alawi. Like I don't know, I think that could be fun.
Maybe, yeah. I think some people messed with the Lowy stuff in some of these purple
Yeah.
decks. I don't know how well they'd want run around. I've seen some takes where like Adicon is actually better than playing the Baron instead,
I see that. Yeah, totally.
which I could definitely see. You just have to change up like the seals and stuff, and you probably run more yellow than purple seals and mess around. But you can effectively kind of do the same thing with Atacon, and then with Atacon, you at the very least get something that clears battlefields by itself. Out of like ride the winning Atacon, I feel like is scarier than ride the winning Baron Nashor. Because
Totally.
you go ride the wind Atacon goes to a battlefield, they now have to sack a thing because it's an attacker, and then they have to try and fight whatever's left. Like I think like that stuff could be really cool. I think I know that has been mentioned as like a potential list. I want to see, like, I wonder if the control list ends up like doing well at some point. I don't think it will, because I think the control list is just worse as real, in my opinion. But these are cool lists to see. I'm excited to see the future of Kennen. I think people are also putting Kennen in that list of like deck is underperforming, or not really underperforming, got second place here, but like deck is underperforming because it's hard type of deal. Same with like Diana, that didn't like top this tournament. People are just saying like, oh, these decks are hard, so like obviously people are gonna like have bad when they're hard and they're popular, so they're gonna have bad win rates. But it's like how you can only use that excuse for so long. You can only use that excuse for so long.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I mean, I think the Diana list is cool. It might be fraudulent. We haven't seen it win anything yet.
I think it got first place in one of the like the China like city challenges.
Oh, okay, sick.
And then we saw it.
Yeah.
We saw it get first place in. We saw it get first place in the one of the early tournament sideways tournaments for. It was the China versus the world tournament, I believe. The player that won was running the Diana, which I believe we talked about. It was the one with the Swain, the first one to really unveil like the Swain combo. But anyway, any last thoughts for the Kennen before we move on to the next one?
No, I think we covered Kennen.
All right, well, let's move into our next set.
Yeah.
Rek'Sai, you want to take it away?
Yes, sir. So we got 3 Rek'Sai lists, y'all. We got 3rd place, we got 5th place, and we got 8th place. Again, kind of same thing with Kennen. These are all super similar. There's like just a couple card difference, sideboard text slightly different. I'm gonna mainly be talking about the 3rd place list, I think. But something to note about 5th and 8th, not both of these guys are not playing the tech that's in the 3rd list. 3rd list is playing Rage Amplifier. I love this card because the moment it was revealed, the whole Riftslop group was like, that card's too expensive. Like, so like I love seeing this card. I think it's super cool.
Which one again? The Rage?
Rage Amplifier.
Rage Amplifier,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4/1 and then it's an Empower 6. Like, it's really expensive. You're probably not empowering this often,
right?
But I think he plays it for the +1, and like I totally see that. The Rek'Sai list is very good at sticking to the board. Like, you play a couple units, they play recruits, and like you are on that board, man. They are very sticky.
Yeah,
it
you
can be very hard to
Yeah,
clear.
you can like freely call the week because you're
Yeah.
gonna always have like some sort of like recruit with you.
Yeah. Yeah, the
I
list plays 3 Cold a week. It's not a problem for them at
like
all.
in games of Treferian War Camp, you can like if you stack up a battlefield with the Rage Amplifier, you're basically getting
Yeah.
+2 to all your units. It can get big pretty fast, I would say.
Yeah.
And then Vi, I'm surprised Vi is at a 1 of, I'm not gonna lie, but Vi as a creature is just really good attacker no matter what. So
I could see him, I guess, I think he's either running more yellow, like that under Titan. He's running like 3 of that under Titan, or maybe he cut 1 Vi for the Rage Amplifier. But like that's kind of like those slots. So like under Titan
fair.
is when you play me.
Under Titan is just
You,
too good. I think Under
yeah.
Titan, at least for this deck, I think Under Titan is like a 3 of in like all the lists, I believe.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! As I'm revealed,
Yeah.
is that add 3 energy or power?
Yeah, it's energy, yeah.
And dude, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's really good.
You just get energy for revealing it. Oh man.
Yep. So like if like your Rek'Sai Legend goes into the Under Titan,
Yeah.
or your Void Rush could
your
also go into Under
legend
Titan
ability.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and you can reveal multiple Under Titans too, so it's like,
Oh wow.
you know, it's not if you because I know there are turns where you go like because we had one of the homies was playing Rek'Sai a little bit before this.
Yeah.
And you could go like Void Rush early, like later into the game you can go you can basically go Void Rush, reveal Under Titan, play Under Titan. Because revealing Under Titan will pay for himself basically. Like you'll get the discount like the energy you spent on Void Rush will now count for Under Titan instead. And if you technically you could do this at you can technically do this with I believe you can do this turn 2 technically because you can go if you go tap 2 and use a power for Void Rush, right? You now have 3 energy left. You reveal the cards, you reveal Under Titan, and you get Under Titan to hand, right?
Yeah.
You will reduce it by 2. So
Yeah.
you can reduce
reduce
it by 2 and then it'll essentially reduce itself by 3. So you're basically paying it for 1 energy and a power. So like you can get Under Titan pretty discounted, which is like really good. So like
this deck is sick.
really sick aggro stuff.
Yeah, Void Rush became a $20 card. It was like $8 or something, and now it's $20 card, $22 card.
Honestly, Rek'Sai was one of the first decks I wanted to build.
Dude, this thing looks crazy.
But,
I want to build it.
Yeah, Rek'Sai was one of the first. When I got into the game, Rek'Sai was one of the first decks I wanted to play. At the time, people were running like Phoenix stuff, which is really cool because like you could kill the Phoenix with Call of the Week and then play it off of itself dying. Yeah. Basically, so like there was some cool Rek'Sai stuff I wanted to play with, but I think I ended up going a different direction entirely in the type of decks I ended up playing. Clearly, but this deck is sick. This deck is one that I always keep an eye out for because I think Rek'Sai is just cool. Like he's just one of the cooler aggro strategies in the game at the moment.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, this is very very fun list. I hope it continues to be prevalent.
Yeah, I hope this list because I mean at the end of the last set we started seeing Rek'Sai top 2. So I think it's only gotten better, especially with the new Noxian Emissary card.
The Noxian Emissary makes
he comes in, he makes a guy, and then the one of the other lists. So like the 3rd place list wasn't running it, but the 5th place list is too, and I think this card is really good. I'm surprised that the 3rd place list wasn't running it. Is the Escaped Greyback?
Yeah.
You basically get to play a 5 might unit for 3 because you're bound to, by the time you play this, you're bound to have a recruit.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of the same logic as Call of the Week, right? You always have a recruit, so you
Yeah, you always
always are
have
proccing this.
like you
Yeah.
always have something like somebody to kill. Cuz like you could literally go or in my opinion, like at worst case scenario, you could go where you don't have like a recruit. You can go Carrion Dredger, escaped Greyback, kill the Carrion Dredger, get a bird off the Carrion Dredger, or you would go, let's say you go score a point with the Carrion Dredger, right? And then you would go Greyback, kill the Carrion Dredger, get a bird. You now have a 5 might unit turn, like on your turn 2 in a battle, like holding a battlefield or something, with like an extra bird or whatever. Like it's such a cool card. I like the card a lot. I'm surprised the other lists weren't running it, or at least the third place list wasn't running it. Oh no, yeah, the eighth place list wasn't
Se-
running it either. But
yeah. I think you do make room for that. I think it's a value card for sure. I mean, in third place, I'd easily cut Hidden Blade. Um, I could see you cutting down like maybe one of those extra death rattles.
the
Because it
Death Knell
looks
guys,
like
yeah,
you see he's running third place is running
yeah,
Honest Broker
I don't, yeah,
instead of
I'm not the biggest fan of the broker because like outside of the falling stars, I don't know. I don't think this deck costs, so there's not a lot of power costs here.
yeah. I would cut like I think for me I would cut the Hidden Blade and like 2 Honest Brokers to fit the
The
Grayback.
Greyback.
And like I would just keep the one. I like
Maybe
being
I
heavy
feel
on
like I
P-drop,
feel like if you're
but
cutting down on the brokers, you might as well just call all of them.
yeah, it's fair. I like to be around
I think the magic number is like
9.
9. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the
to
magic
be
number is
around.
like. Well, I mean the second place runs like 10.
Yeah,
It runs 11, so like you could realistically cut the brokers and then just put in the guys. I think Hidden Blade's good because it's a free draw 2 for yourself if you need to do it on your recruits, like a random like recruit feature, or it's a perma kill on something that you need to get rid of, right, on your
yeah.
opponent.
I'm surprised fifth place only ran 1 emissary, but maybe that's why he was fifth.
Hopefully it's one of the emissaries. I mean, it's running one on the sideboard. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
emissary's really good.
Well, yeah, I think for the second place, I think he just valued Legion Rearguard. He wanted the accelerate creature instead, as
Yeah,
opposed
that's
to the
fair.
extra body.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I think like 3 emissary, 3 Vanguard Captain, 3 Faithful Manufacturer are like staples in this deck. Or like two, you know what I mean? Or like 2 Vanguard
interesting.
Captain. Because
Yeah,
like I want to keep generating those
you just want to just keep
1/1s.
making dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I could see
it feels
that.
like a token deck to me almost. Like
Pseudo, yeah, it's like
yeah.
pseudo tokens.
Yeah, it's
It's
cosplaying a token deck. Yeah.
yeah, almost, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see the future of Rek'Sai lists. Hopefully they continue. But
Yep.
we can get to our last
Yep.
list here. So the last, I almost dropped something, my bad. But the last list we're gonna look at is just the seventh place Ezreal list. I think this is a pretty standard Ezreal list. This is basically what Bradykin's been running as well. I believe the only real difference is that, at least from the list that we have on our YouTube, on our other YouTube video where we're playing Ezreal versus Akali, biggest difference is that there's one pickpocket main board. I think pickpocket in the main board, which is the current list I'm running, is pretty cool because it's like it's only a one of, and it plays well into decks that run a lot of seals. So like it plays really well into like it's a good drop against Kennen. It's a good drop against like Renekton, like pretty much anything that relies on seals because it'll always kill a seal.
Hmm.
And if you need to recur it with like Starcross or something, you can. but I can see why. I can see the, you know, not wanting to run the pickpocket on my main board, because like a lot outside of Kennen, there's not like the, I wouldn't say the really good decks are running a lot of seals, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So
But
like,
I mean, you know my take on this whole meta. I think people should be mainboarding gear hate in some capacity.
right, yeah, I think, but I think that's also why the turn to dust is there.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair. No,
you know, the,
that's fair.
yeah, the single turn to dust, and then you can fizz into turn to dust if you need be. But
I feel like I would swap the turn to dust for the mainboard pit pocket because I like
for
your
the
idea
mainboard
of,
pit
like,
pocket,
playing it again with Starcrossed and
yeah,
then repeating that with Fizz.
I think with
Like,
what
or
the,
Pack of Wonder. Like,
yeah, I think what the Bradykin list does is, I think it goes down on Deadly Flourish, because I
can
think,
see that too.
I think that list runs 2 Deadly Flourish, but yeah, this is a pretty standard Ezreal list. There's not much, I wouldn't say there's much innovation here. The only real thing that came with the only real thing that came to Ezreal lists from Vendetta is the battlefield, the Heisho Shell of the World. Since it's just a battlefield that ignores deflect, which is one of the, you know, this is like, it's good into like the Aurelia matchups, dealing with Vex on boards, you know, stuff like that. Getting through deflect for free is pretty good. Makes your singularities hit for more, makes your deadly flourishes hit harder. You know, so yeah, Ezreal list's pretty straightforward. You've seen it once, you've seen it before. Backpack, Spirit, backpack, Spirit. Like there's not much else to in the realm of innovation. We're sending Sammy into like the into the eternal pit of despair right now, talking about this list. But yeah,
I want a
think
rematch. I want a
Ezreal-
rematch.
I mean, hey, we play a lot, so we'll be,
Yeah.
we're bound to run it. But with that, any final thoughts on any of the lists for the top 8?
No, I mean, even though 6 of the lists were the same lists,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, like 3 Ken and 3 Rek'Sai, I think
Yeah.
it was a cool top 8 because of first place, and yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, the
excited to see
first
what
place
else Vendetta
Rengar, yeah,
has.
all the, I think this top 8 was sick. I think Kennen was expected as one of the high
Yeah.
performers, and then everything else was like kind of out of nowhere, except for like Ezreal, I guess. But like, I think like Rek'Sai and Rengar doing really well is like really sick. But check us out on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everything. Thank you guys for watching. See you later. Peace.